Hi, it's Scola and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top period hacks, so let's get into it. So you guys might have noticed on my Instagram I've been using a new app called Natural Cycles. It's basically the app I've been using to track my cycle. That's going to be my first period hack, and that is tracking your cycle. I wish apps were like a bigger thing when I was going to school, because it would have been so useful to be able to track on my phone when my period was coming. I used to have to do it by hand and remember to put it on my calendar and put a little X every time my period came, but it's so much easier just having an app that I can just put in every day that my period is, basically. So that's one thing you can do on the Natural Cycles app. Every day you can just put in when your period starts and then when it ends. You can also make little notes on little stuff like what you're experiencing and that kind of thing. So you guys know I have a condition called hypothyroidism, and it has a lot to do with your hormones. So I do notice that around that time of the month, everything is all over the place and that all my symptoms are magnified by 10. So it's just nice being able to document everything, so I'm more prepared when everything comes about, because if I start feeling a certain way, it can get super depressing. But then if I look at my app and I'm like, oh yeah, I felt exactly like this last month as well around this time, then I can sort of rationalize it and sort of know how to deal with it and be more prepared for when that time sort of comes about. So that's one great thing about Natural Cycles. It just helps me to keep track of my period, and then also it can get to a point where you don't always have to track your period, because it actually predicts when your next one's going to be and how long it's going to be. And if it's accurate, then you don't actually need to change anything that day, really, because it already knows what's going on. And like I said, I do like to be prepared when my period is going to come, because I'm one of those people that likes to sort of plan around it. It sounds really bad, but I prefer to spend time at home during my period. I don't really like to be out and about, just because I get really bad symptoms like cramps and just general mood changes, feeling super lethargic and just faint, and all these annoying things that come with being a woman, basically come with being a woman. And also, I've always been that person that's super duper scared of any accidents happening, but I do have something that's been making me feel so much better about any accidents that could happen, and that's going to be my second hack, and that has got to be reusable sanitary products. I think that's what they're called. I mean, I don't know what other term you want to use. But first of all, I want to show you guys these. So these are reusable pads. Now I know this may not be for everybody, but for me, these have been amazing. So literally, they are pads that you can reuse. You use them and then you wash them and then you can use them again. Obviously, it's pretty straightforward. So these are 3 I recently got. So I actually just ordered some new ones so that I could show you guys, but also I needed some new ones because the other ones I've had them for about over a year now, and they just don't look as pretty as these ones do. Not that they get stained or anything, they actually stay looking really nice, but these just look a lot fresher. They haven't sort of gone off in color or anything. This one's a nighttime pad, because you can tell it's a little bit longer than these ones. So it's a nighttime one. So basically what you do is you have these poppers on the side, and this is what the back of it looks like. This is what you put on your underwear, and you literally just clip it, and then when you're done with it and you want to take it off, you just take it off, and then you can fold it up, sort of pop it like that, and it's all put together, and then you can put it away. And then I typically wear these at home. I wouldn't really go out and about with these, just because you do have to change them and put them somewhere, and so you would usually put them in a wet bag. So this is the wet bag I recently got. As you can tell, I was trying to be very discreet about the whole situation, but basically this is waterproof and just keeps everything intact. So if you're out and about, you want to take off a pad and change into a new one, you'd fold it up like this, put it in this little bag, and then put it in your bag. I know that's not for everybody, because you might feel a bit awkward about carrying around your soiled pads, basically. And I got these from Precious Stars, and I'm super excited about this because the person who created this is actually a YouTuber, and the whole story behind why she made these products is just so amazing, and she's such a boss. Honestly, I found her videos 2 years ago now. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. It's her company called Precious Stars, and she has so much extensive knowledge on all of these products, how to use them, which ones are the best. Definitely go to her channel. So back to the Natural Cycles app, the next hack is you can actually tell when you're fertile and when you're not. So basically what you can do is just use this thermometer that they actually send you in a cute little pack, and explains everything in depth. And basically every morning, as soon as you wake up, you just slip this in your mouth, and then you can test your temperature. And it even says good morning on it, which I thought was really cute. So basically The whole point is that from your temperature, you can basically gauge whether you're fertile or not. And the more you like take your temperature, you put it into the app, then the more accurate it will be in telling the days you're fertile and the days you're not. Because in reality, you're not actually able to get pregnant for the full cycle. So for example, my cycle is between 28 to 29 days. So I can't remember the exact days. I think it's like 6 days you're fertile out of that whole time, something like that. I can't quite remember, don't quote me. But basically the app figures that out for you, and you can check the app and then check whether you're fertile or not. Now, keep in mind, this does not mean this is your only form of contraception, because this app is a certified form of contraception. But you have to remember that you have to make sure you're safe against stuff like STDs and STIs, that kind of thing. So you have to make sure you're still using condoms to make sure you're protecting yourself from that. So definitely make sure you check that out, because a lot of people tend to think that they just say they're the only form of contraception, but they also advocate using condoms as well. So please don't feel like you're not meant to, because I feel like that's the vibe people kept getting from this app. Like, it just means throw away everything else. Of course, if you have trust within a relationship, you're married and you're with someone and it's long term, that kind of thing, and you don't feel like they're gonna be going off the rails or anything, then definitely this can be your only form of contraception, and you can see how that works out for you. I've seen some other great YouTubers talk about this app, and they said that it really works well for them. There's a lot of like married couples, and it just really worked for them. So it is another option, and it's just that extra bit of safety if you're using another form of contraception to then use this as well. And I think it's also a great way just to be in tune with your body, because when it comes to that time when you want to get pregnant, like when I was younger, I just assumed that you just did it whenever and then you just get pregnant, like it's that easy. But it's actually one of those scientific things that you have to time correctly. And I didn't figure this out until I watched Friends, and I watched Monica trying to grab Chandler while she was ovulating. And then I was like, oh, it's a thing you have to do right at the right moment. It's not just a random thing. And then what's actually properly changed my life is the menstrual cup. You guys have probably seen this quite a bit. If you haven't and it's your first time, this is a menstrual cup, and this, you put it up your Tootsie Roll. Don't ask me why I'm calling it a Tootsie Roll today. It just felt like the right thing. I don't even know what a Tootsie Roll is, to be honest with you. But this is what you just slip up. So the way you put it in is you fold it just like that. You just slide it up. And it does seem very daunting at first if you've never had anything up there, but I'd already had like experience with tampons and that kind of thing, and I just actually find that this is so much more comfortable than a tampon. And it can be really daunting at first because people feel like this is gonna get stuck, but like you sort of have to give birth to it every time you want to take it out, because this one doesn't have as long of a stem as my first one does. The first one I got has quite a long stem. What you will find is people have different depth in their cervix, I guess, is that what it's called? Because I know the girl that I bought all of these from, she has quite a shallow one, so she always cuts these off because it just ends up sticking out. But for me personally, I guess I have a deep cervix. This is reminding me of Mean Girls, and she's like, I have a wide set vagina and a heavy flow or something like that. And my last hack is something I've mentioned in my videos before, but if you do suffer from really horrible cramps, a great way of getting rid of them is just living a healthy lifestyle. That's gonna sound so annoying and it won't work for everybody, so don't think that I'm saying everybody will be cured. But honestly, if you do take the time to really look after your body, exercise more, eat healthier, you will see a difference in the way that your cycle works. It may even become more regular. You may even just see like it's not as heavy, as painful as it would have been before. I know for me, the healthier the month I have, the less painful my period will be. Even when I do get cramps right on that day, if I get up and do some exercise, the cramps do go away. So yeah, that's everything. I hope you guys found it useful. If you have any questions about anything I spoke about, please comment down below. Let me know anything that you need help with, that kind of thing, and I'll do my best to help you guys out. But like I said, do go check out Natural Cycles. Their website has so much extensive knowledge. The app itself has so much knowledge. And let me know if you give the app a go. You can download it from the link down below as well. Let me know how you get on with it. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.